I connect a lot of things together. This could have been 13 different books. And a lot of people said, when I tried to put together after 9/11, I was at the State Department. I was teaching at the Foreign Service Institute when the plane hits the Pentagon. So ever since, I begin to think there is something to it, just like Abraham Lincoln used to say. I talked to Harlan because he happened to be my neighbor. And I go grocery shopping for him and have tea with him. Well, he had his scotch, I had tea. And having fun with talking about, it's very socially at that time. What fascinated me was how to make these connections that nobody has done it. And I told Harlan about it. And Harlan always think about, he said, Patrick, there might be something to it. We don't know what something to it. I knew that's coming from Abraham Lincoln. So I told Harlan, I'm going to do this one this way. He said, that's fine. So we have our own disagreements. I will talk about that one later. What I want to tell you is there's a remarkable influence that we had from the Freemasonry and the Enlightenment thinkers of Europe at that time. What also fascinating is about last century, after the World War II, our 33rd president, Harry S. Truman, is also a 33rd degree Freemason. Whether it is a coincide or is a providence, or we don't know, but there are some argument for and against for that one. What he said is, nothing is new in this world except things we don't know. That's the kind of idea I'm going to run through my presentation. And here, the September 11, 1984 conversation is the starting point for me. Harlan said, when I met him about 3:30 in the afternoon, Harlan said, I was very nervous to meet him with Harlan. I didn't know I should call him Ambassador Cleveland, Professor Cleveland, Dean Cleveland, or President Cleveland, because he's coming from the University of Hawaii as a president there. I was nervous, and he was late, and he came to me, Patrick, come on in, my name is Harlan. I went to his room. When I saw him, to me, in my own way of looking at, he's George Washington to me. And because when I was growing up in Sri Lanka, I studied about founding fathers, was fascinated by them, and because of his stature, and it's like a George Washington, I was very nervous. He said in our conversation, Patrick, I am also from an island like you are. I thought he wants to make me quiet and calm down and more relaxed, I think, because I knew he's the Eastern Coast vast establishment before he went to Hawaii. And then he said something, Patrick, how you end up in northern Minnesota? Then I said AFS exchange program, and he was fascinated with everything I said. Then he said, Patrick, we are all together. Whether you are from Sri Lanka, it's northern Minnesota, I'm in Hawaii, we are all together. Then we were quiet, and he said, the farthest star over there has an influence on us as we have influence on them. That sounds like not the American statements saying like that. It's a very Asian culture, it's the Indian culture talking about other world connection. That kind of died for a long time. I didn't know about that one. So this is, I found out, Harlan said this on 1954. It was in the New York Times. New York Times captured this one because at that time he was just finishing up working with Harry S. Truman as a Marshall administrator. And I thought this fascinating when I did this research and I talked to Harlan about it. Then he said, Patrick, yes, there is more to that. And they kind of encouraged me to go and search more things. So that's the beginning of my book and how I started that fascination with what he said.